Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to do a quick whiteboard-ish video to explain what you can do with Clarity and what really is Clarity. So to start, let's talk about high level, what is Clarity? So Clarity is a way to add utility to a tokenized community. And you can do that through a few different ways. So you can add governance. That's probably the biggest part. And within this governance utility add, you can have off-chain governance and on-chain governance. And you can add them in all a non-technical way. You also get utility by creating an organization, whether it's an off-chain or on-chain organization. You get automatic membership tracking. And what this does is it helps streamline the rewards distribution process. And it also helps the organizations build out custom incentives. So whether you want people to retweet your tweets or participate in governance or submit, proposals to bounties, whatever it may be, you're able to track and then reward based off that automatically being tracked. Then the last thing you have is treasury management. Okay, so you can create an organization and you can have an organization that has a treasury that is governed by smart contracts. So let's get into governance a little more. So there's a distinction on Clarity. You can come to the platform to create an organization. And you can also come to create an Agora DAO. Now, one thing to note is that when you create an Agora DAO, you still get all of the functionality that an organization would bring you. So let's talk about the differences between organizations and Agora DAOs. So in an organization, you have very flexible governance rules. Okay, so within those governance rules, you can customize whether you want to limit proposal creation, to just admins. So you can whitelist wallet addresses to just kind of core team members if you want it to be centralized at first. You can also have it so that everyone can create proposals, but admins must approve a proposal before it goes to a live vote. And you can also have it so that everyone can create proposals and everyone can vote on the proposals that are created by members. So you can control your governance rules and how decentralized your governance process is within a off-chain organization. You can also do that within Agora DAO, but it happens in a different way. The other thing that you could do with a organization, I guess the one important thing to note is it is snapshot governance. So what this organization does is it is constantly snapshotting the chain, snapshotting wallets to see how many of the particular governance tokens for this organization are within the wallet that is connected to the decentralized application. So this has snapshot governance. Now, one thing that spelling there. All right. One thing that you can do is you can have multiple policy IDs as governance tokens within a snapshot organization. Okay, so you can have one token that's worth one vote, one token that's worth 5 votes. You can have different ways to calculate your voting power, such as linear or quadratic voting as well. And you can create this organization just by filling out a simple online form. There's another video in our YouTube channel where you can see exactly how that happens. Now let's talk a little bit about Agora DAOs. So Agora DAOs a little more rigid on the governance rules, a little more rigid, but still very flexible. So really, these are the things that you can specify when creating an Agora DAO. And first thing to note with an Agora DAO is that Agora DAOs are completely on-chain organizations. Okay, so you have on-chain treasury, you have on-chain proposal voting, okay, and these proposals automatically execute. Okay, so when you have a vote, if it reaches the thresholds that you define in the organization setup by filling out a simple online form, then that will automatically execute. So this could be a treasury withdrawal. This could be updating governance parameters. This could be staking treasury assets to an SPO. This could be swapping between a treasury asset to another treasury asset. So the things that you can specify within an Agora DAO is, we'll kind of go through it here. So you get to specify your policy ID. So what is your governance token that's going to have jurisdiction over your treasury? Okay. And then you can also specify, you get to put the name of your organization. Let's see what else. You have the execute threshold. Okay, so when you're filling out your form to create your DAO, you get to create an execute threshold. This is a threshold that states how many tokens must vote in favor of a proposal for it to automatically execute the downstream effects within the proposal. And then you can have other things that make it more flexible. You can have how many tokens do you need to hold in order to create proposal. So depending, if you want to have people with a lot of skin in the game, you can make this threshold higher. If you want to make it open to more people, you can make it lower. So create proposal threshold is something you can customize within an Agora DAO. And then you also have the cast vote threshold. So if you want to have people with more tokens, more skin in the game, be the ones that participate in governance, you are able to gate who is actually able to participate in governance based off how many tokens they hold. Okay, and then those are the main ones there. Then after that, you have to specify the timing of your proposal process. So because everything is enforced on chain, smart contracts are actually running the timing of the proposal process. So you have to specify, okay, when a proposal is created, how long is it in the draft period? How long is it in the voting period? How long does it have to execute? So you have your proposal timeline thresholds. All right, and then going back to organization versus Agora DAO. Now let's look at the different governance actions that you can take within both of these organizations and the Agora DAO. So within an organization, you are able to create polls, you are able to create bounties. Okay, so in snapshot organizations, you are able to have polls and bounties. With Agora DAOs, you are able to have what we refer to as proposals. Okay, so the high level things to note is that polls and bounties do not automatically execute. Proposals automatically execute. All right, so when you have an Agora DAO, as I mentioned before, you do not lose the functionality of everything you have. So you are able to leverage polls and bounties so that you can get community sentiment in a more off-chain way. You can narrow down things to vote on. You can get community sentiment and things like that with the polls and bounties. And then with proposals, These are only offered to Agora DAOs because they are fully on-chain. You have to have the Agora DAO, you have to have a treasury, you have to have people staked to your organization in order to participate in governance. So let's talk about a little bit about what each of these are. So a poll. Let's talk about a poll first. All right, so polls are snapshot votes with predefined options. Okay, so this is oftentimes a yes/no. Should we make a proposal to move, 1,000 ADA from the treasury? You have yes/no, predefined options. You can customize these options into anything you would like them to be customized. There's a lot of different ways that you can leverage polls in terms of what you want to ask your community. So the key difference between polls and bounties, they both use snapshot governance. So they're both kind of off-chain governance actions. But the difference between polls and bounties is that options in a bounty are not predefined. Okay. So what that means is when you create a bounty, the community can crowdsource ideas. So for example, if you're an investment club, you could have a bounty that says, hey, we want to put 1,000 ADA into an altcoin. What projects do you guys see? Do you see that you guys would like to have our treasury hold? And then the whole community can come in and put, oh, World Mobile Token, Clarity, Sunday Swap. There's all these different possibilities that you can crowdsource ideas from your community by using a bounty. Now, one thing to note is kind of the options you have within polls and bounties. So it's getting a little messy here, but that's all right. So within polls, you are able to say when voting opens and when voting closes. So polls are pretty simple in that sense. You have predefined options, people come, people vote, and that's it. Now, with bounties, you have how long do people have to submit their submissions. So you have submission opens/closes. Then you have when voting opens and when voting closes. All right, so that's high level of that. And then going to the last governance action, proposals. So you can have a lot of different types of proposals. So one really cool thing about proposals is that after a vote passes with Clarity DAO infrastructure, so once a vote passes, anything can run. Anything that can be expressed in a smart contract can run. So smart contract runs. Automatically. So if the vote passes, anything that can be expressed in a smart contract can run as a result of the proposal. So let's think about some examples out of the box. A simple one that a lot of people want and will be available out of the box on Clarity is a treasury withdrawal. Okay. Okay, so you have treasury withdrawals, you can have treasury swaps, you can have, multiple wallet payout. You can have updating governance parameters. It's really up to the imagination. It's up to the imagination what you can use polling for, what you can use bounties for, and all of the things that can be automatically executed through a proposal. So these are just some initial ideas, but it's really awesome that Agora and Clarity DAO treasury effects, they can, after a vote passes, any type of smart contract can run. So you have this core infrastructure where you have the treasury and you have these governance rules surrounding this treasury. And then, more and more types of proposal effects can be added to this this kind of modular system that can keep customizing the way that votes are carried out and the way that votes can be executed. So I guess another one to mention would be staking assets. Okay, so there's so many different ideas of potential treasury effects. Now let's go up here. What other ways? So we talked about off-chain. This is organizations, snapshot polling, and then we have on-chain. This is kind of where you get into like the purest form of a DAO. It's not centralized. It's completely decentralized. You have autonomously executing proposals. This would be an Agora DAO. All right, and what the Clarity platform does is it makes all of these, these types of organizations you can make by just filling out a simple online form. You can look at the other videos, you can look at the documentation, you can go to clarity.vote to try it out. If you want to build a testnet or an Agora DAO right now, it's available on testnet.clarity.vote. Okay, so you can start experimenting with these, but it's a no code experience in order to build these types of organizations. All right, so now let's look at membership tracking. Okay, so with membership tracking, really what we want to accomplish with this kind of feature is that you need to have custom incentives to be a successful DAO. So you need to have people incentivized to participate in governance, to contribute to the community in some way. So what we automatically track on Clarity right now is, which wallets are wallet voting. Okay, so you can know exactly what wallet is voting on your proposals. How often do they vote? You can say what wallet is creating proposals. Okay, so this part is somewhat in the early phases of membership tracking. This is going to get a lot more involved as we add different ways to, it does other things. You can see what wallets are staked to your organization, automatically track that. Wallet is casting on-chain votes, off-chain votes, what wallets we track, what wallets have created proposals or created organizations as well. So there's all these different things being tracked. Now in the future, there'll be integrations where we will be able to track different things. So maybe it's a Discord integration. So a Discord integration. So a lot of DAO communities use Discord. So we can track, who is participating in the Discord the most, sending the most messages. Or maybe, it's not Discord, it could be Telegram or Twitter/X or attendance at events. The idea here is that you will be able to track everything that you want to incentivize within your DAO. And then what you'll be able to do is, what we will do for you actually more so is Clarity will provide an easy way to export all of these addresses and exactly what they've done to contribute to your community, so that you can use a token distribution platform to automatically and quickly and easily pay out your incentives, your rewards to your community. Now there was one other thing. I think we actually kind of already touched on it, which is the treasury management part. So the treasury management part really comes back to the Agora DAO. So you have an on-chain org, an on-chain treasury that has proposals. These proposals, they govern the treasury And you can have treasury withdrawals, you can have treasury swaps, you can have the treasury pay out multiple wallets, you can have votes to update governance parameters. That's not, I guess that is somewhat treasury management because you're updating the rules that govern the treasury. You can have the treasury stake assets. So you have a very flexible way to manage the treasury of a DApp. I think that's about it. Really, yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, we're always in the Discord. I'll put the links below. But yeah, thank you guys very much. And I hope that was an informative video on what you can do with Clarity.